Let's talk about something that can make even the most confident person's palms start to sweat. Yeah, I'm talking about math. But what if we could totally reframe it? What if math wasn't about fear, but about having a really solid strategy? Well, today, we're going to turn that anxiety into answers. And it all starts with a simple game plan.
Oh, you know that feeling, right? Your brain just hits a wall. You're just staring at this page full of numbers and symbols, and you feel like you're supposed to have some kind of secret decoder ring that you just don't.
I'm here to tell you that feeling is so common. And the best part? It doesn't mean you're bad at math. Not at all. It just means you haven't found the right strategy yet. And today, that's exactly what we're going to build together.
So, where do we even begin? Well, our first mission, and it's a big one, is to tackle the biggest hurdle of all, math anxiety itself. This means we're going to shift our whole mindset away from believing in some kind of innate talent and start focusing on tactics.
Okay, let's just get one thing straight, right now. The whole idea of a math genius is, for the most part, a myth. Real, lasting success comes from a game plan. We're talking consistent preparation, smart strategies, and actually believing that you can get better. It's all about the process, not some magic gift you're born with.
So, how do we actually build that game plan? Well, it all starts way before you even walk into the classroom on exam day. Let's open up our preparation playbook and see what that really looks like. You gotta think of it like a big championship game, you know? The star players, they don't just show up on game day and hope it all works out. Nope. The real work, the practice, the drills, the strategy sessions, that all happens for weeks, even months beforehand. And your math exam, it's no different.
What I absolutely love about these strategies is how proactive they are. Take reworking class examples. That's not just passively reading your notes. It's getting your hands dirty and actually solving the problems again. And making a practice test, that simulates the real thing, which builds your confidence and shows you exactly where you need to focus. And seriously, don't ever underestimate a good night's sleep. It's a total biological game changer.
This quote right here gets the heart of why having a study schedule is so critical. See, cramming might feel productive in the moment, but it's like trying to build a wall by just throwing bricks in a pile. Spaced practice, on the other hand, is like carefully laying each brick, giving it time to set. You're giving your brain time to move all that crucial information from short-term to long-term memory. It's building something that lasts.
Okay, you've done the prep work, you're feeling ready, now it's game day. So how do you execute when the pressure's really on?
You could know every single formula by heart, but if panic sets in, it's like all that knowledge gets locked away. So the goal on exam day isn't just to know the material, it's to be calm, to be focused, and to be methodical. You have to remember, you are in control. Think of these as your in-the-moment moves. For example, scanning the entire test before you even start, that gives you a mental map of the battlefield. And starting with the problems you know you can solve, that's a huge confidence boost that creates this positive momentum right from the get-go.
All right, the exam is over. You can finally breathe that sigh of relief. But the work isn't quite done. In fact, this is where some of the most valuable learning actually happens.
An exam isn't just a grade. It's more like a diagnostic report. It tells you exactly what you've mastered and where you still need a little bit of work. When you start treating it as a learning tool instead of some final judgment, that's when you really tap into a growth mindset. So what does this actually look like? Well, it means really digging into your results. Actively rework the problems you got wrong until you nail them. Ask yourself, what part of my prep really worked and what didn't? This kind of reflection turns every single exam, no matter what the score is, into a win for your long-term learning.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about mindset and strategy. That's all great, but let's see how this stuff works on an actual math problem. We're going to take something that looks super intimidating at first, and I'll show you how a clear process makes it completely manageable.
Let's be honest, the phrase rational expression sounds kind of scary and complicated, but just look at the definition. At its core, all it is a fancy fraction. That's it. Just by boiling it down to that simple idea, we've already taken away most of its power to intimidate us.
And right here, this is the game plan. It's not 100 confusing rules. It's a simple two-step process. It doesn't matter how messy or complicated the expression looks. The path forward is always the same. First, you factor everything to break it down. Then, you just cancel out anything that's the same on the top and the bottom. That's it. This is what we mean by process over panic.
And here you can really see the result. You start with something that looks like this tangled mess. You apply that simple two-step process, and you end up with something that's clean, simple, and manageable. That transformation is just so satisfying, and it's absolute proof that a good strategy can conquer complexity every single time.
And really, that's the ultimate takeaway here. Math isn't about just memorizing a bunch of answers. It's about learning a logical process for solving problems. Once you understand the path, the strategy, you can apply it to any problem that comes your way.
When you think about it, this whole strategic approach, prepare, execute, reflect, and improve, it applies to so much more than just a math class. So I'll leave you with this. What's the next complex problem in your life that you're going to conquer with this new playbook?